Hey guys, it's technically February 25th, 2016, day 56 of my 365 vlog. Now let's get to it. So today was just one of those regular days yet again. I was working on a painting and it struck my mind last night, early in the wee hours of the morning as I usually make these, that painting is a process, and one of the processes is that I like to use oil paint. So therefore, the paint on the canvas will take longer to dry than acrylic paint, and it will take me a lot longer for it to dry to add layers because I do a whole layer process, so it's going to take me even longer. And that's what I realized about today. So I did that, and then I actually did some gaming. Now, a lot of you are going to look at me side-eyed and say, what kind of gaming you do? I mean, my ass just started finishing the last Pokemon that came out, Alpha Sapphire. Yeah. I just started it over again. So I'm trying to beat it before the weekend's over so I can get into other games that I've been meaning to spend my time on. However, that's not what I came to talk to you guys about today, me just collecting games and not beating them. But the topic of today is actually something that will be happening later in the day, or has already happened as a midnight screening, and that is a movie that came out today. And the movie that came out today that has had lots of controversy behind it, I think, is Gods of Egypt. Now, I don't know the exact details surrounding the whole plot of the movie, but the plot of the movie I don't think is the biggest part that people have problems with. The problem with this movie is the fact of the cast, and the cast is pretty goddamn white. And why this is a bit upsetting to people is because people in Egypt are usually depicted as white when that is not actually the case. Now, before I did this little segment, I did a little bit of research on the movie, and I looked it up, and it just came out maybe a few hours ago, and people have already reviewed it, and it looks like it sucks already. So that's something, but I don't think that is necessarily the problem with the movie sucking. I think it just goes back to some earlier videos that I've talked about before that talk about whitewashing in the media, and that's just generally across the board when it comes for characters that could be black but are just made white, or not even just black, just people of another race, like that other movie with Emma Stone where she was supposed to be Hawaiian or something. I forget what it's called. That was also some controversy. I wasn't as aware of it, but I did hear about it, and it happens all the time. Now, what I think honestly on the whole topic of the movie is that this should stop happening. There needs to be some referendum. They need to talk about this. They need to get some people together, because I'm pretty sure Hollywood is not lacking that much talent that the whole cast for a movie that could have been filled with black people could have been filled with black people. Like, why couldn't it have? I'm just really confused when it comes to this subject, because I must be ignorant, or there must be really no good people of color actors that could have been black. I don't know. I think there's something wrong there that doesn't really make sense. And I mean, what would it be like if the whole cast was actually the skin tone people thought it should be? I mean, that would be some stuff, right? Could you imagine? It would be a whole different movie. It might actually be empowering. I say that like I'm saying it sarcastically or not, but I really think it actually might be, and it might actually be correct in some ways, and it might break some stereotypes. Like I talked in my last video, just having some representation on the screen that is positive in some light, or depicts history of a people in its nearest accurate form, not trying to overshadow it with differerences because it's being artistic or anything of the like. It doesn't actually help the history. It just overshadows it and retakes it. And this, I think, is an overarching theme just in movies in general. When Hollywood gets a film, they tend to fuck it up. Sometimes, I think the movies they don't mess up are superhero movies. They don't mess those up somehow, because those are the safest and they get the most out of them, and they have so much source material and they have fans behind them. But everything else that they do is almost like walking a ledge. They're either gonna mess it up, and let me take that thought back. That's not sometimes, even if they have the source material, doesn't mean they're gonna do it right. Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I might add was a really great parody. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. I laughed for hours. I don't understand why anyone hates that movie. That shit was amazing. But that movie in itself also has its own problems. So we're talking back on Gods of Egypt. People who are in Hollywood, stop making movies that are about Egypt and just making it about white people. I'll never understand that shit. You obviously don't understand that shit, but somebody up there thinks it's the right thing. And all of those things together will not make us more progressive. It'll just do what history is known to do, and that's just rewrite itself until it's all white and blank like a page. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just one person sitting in a room talking about a movie that I actually haven't even seen yet. Granted, I'm not gonna go see it because I got no business seeing a movie that, I mean, for the most part, is just like super whitewashed when it doesn't need to be. But what are you guys' thoughts? Do you disagree with me? What do you think about the movie? Have you seen the movie Late Night? By the time you see this video, have you seen this movie? What do you think about the movie? I would love to hear your thoughts, because that's all I have in this world. Thoughts. But yeah, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you liked what I said or have any ideas, you know, just hit that like button because you like what I said. And if this is your first time seeing my face, it certainly will not be the last because I make videos every day. So hit that subscribe button and that little alert button so you know you can see me when I'm popping up, because these will come eventually. And also, another thing would be to share with your friends because they should see this and spread the message of diversity and a little correctness in our history. That would be nice, I think, maybe. I don't know. I'm just a dude. But yeah, comment, question of the day. I think like I asked earlier, what do you guys think of the movie? Have you seen the movie? Etc, etc. I think I said it already. But yeah, I'm Vandal. Keep it 365, people. I will see you tomorrow, and this weekend shall start off and probably be a lot of Street Fighter. I don't know. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace. Bye.